What if I told you that 97% of men completely misunderstand what women really think and feel? Imagine missing out on deeper connections, attraction, and intimacy just because you don't know these hidden psychological secrets. Right now, this could be holding you back, making your relationships frustrating, confusing, or even leaving you feeling invisible to the woman you want. Hi, I'm James, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal powerful truths about women's minds and the human body that almost no guy knows. And by the end of this video, you'll see relationships in a completely new way. Stay with me till the end, because I'm about to share the most surprising fact that will change how you connect with women forever. Let me hit you with something that'll probably mess with your head, but in a good way. Some guys, and I mean actual, fully functioning men, can reach a level of satisfaction during sex just from playing with a woman's breasts. That's it. No penetration, no climax, no porn-level performance. Just skin on skin, energy flowing, and presence in the moment. You know what that tells us? Most of what brings pleasure isn't physical, it's mental. It's about being locked into the experience, not chasing a result. Now here's where it gets wild. When a woman is truly turned on, her body literally starts to prepare itself. Her vagina expands, not because she's trying to fake it or do her job, but because her biology responds to arousal automatically. And when that expansion goes beyond the normal range, that's not a glitch. That's her body silently screaming, "I'm into this." This is the stuff no one teaches men, and we suffer for it. You spend years thinking women want what you want, that they get turned on by the same visual, physical, fast-track approach you crave. But studies like one from the Journal of Sexual Medicine show otherwise. Women tend to fantasize in stories. Romantic tension, emotional buildup, a slow burn. You're thinking about curves, skin, rhythm, dominance. That's your wiring. But if you want to actually connect with her sexually, I mean really make her feel something, you need to understand her mind, not just her body. And here's a kicker, probably the last thing you expected. Men who have sex about twice a week cut their risk of heart disease by half. Yeah, half. That's not motivational talk, that's real data. Your health improves when your sex life is alive and consistent. But instead, most guys are stuck in a loop of anxiety, porn, rejection, or pretending they don't need intimacy. Meanwhile, your body's silently begging for connection, and you ignore it. Let's throw one more uncomfortable truth in here. Studies say taller guys tend to get laid more often. Why? Because height signals dominance to her biology. Not her conscious brain, but the ancient part wired for strength and survival. And yeah, that might sting if you're not tall. But here's what Stoicism teaches us. You don't waste your life crying over what you don't control. What you do control is how you carry yourself. Your posture, your presence, your silence. Confidence isn't a height thing, it's a spirit thing. And when a man walks into a room owning his space, grounded, unbothered, focused, women feel it. They can't always explain it, but they sense it. So if you're out here blaming genetics, blaming women, blaming the game, you're not being a man, you're being a victim. A Stoic doesn't complain about the terrain, he sharpens his blade and adapts to it. Now let's get into something real. Most men were never taught how to deal with their emotions, not properly. Somewhere along the way we got told that showing emotions makes you soft. So what do? We shut down, keep it all in, numb out, pretend everything's fine. But emotions don't disappear just because you ignore them. They stack. They sit in your body like dead weight. That bottled up stress, it kills your energy, your focus, even your drive in the bedroom. Speaking of which, if you actually want to feel more during sex, try this. Right before you're about to finish, squeeze your pelvic muscles. Yeah, those muscles. It's called edging. You hold back the orgasm on purpose. Let the pressure build. Then when you do let go, it hits harder, way harder. That kind of intensity isn't random. It's training, precision, control. They don't teach this in school. Hell, most guys go their whole lives not knowing this stuff. And while we're on the subject, let's clear something up. A woman's vagina isn't some one-size-fits-all tunnel. On average, it's about 3 to 4 inches deep. Some shorter, some longer. But when aroused, it can expand. That means how you connect matters more than just what you bring. Every woman is different, period. Now here's something even fewer guys talk about. Men have their own pleasure zone, like the female G-spot. But for us, it's the prostate. It's real, and yeah, it's intense. Whether you explore that or not, that's your business. No shame, no pitch, just facts. And here's where Stoicism comes in. Not in the cliché way of just suppress everything, but in the real way. The Stoics believed in mastering the self, knowing your body, Understanding your reactions, being in control of your impulses, not being controlled by them. It's not about denial, it's about dominance over yourself first. That's power. Quiet, steady, unshakable, and yeah, it applies just as much in sex as it does in battle. Now check this out. Women who spend most of their time around male friends, they often report being happier overall. Yeah, not what you expected, right? Turns out that masculine presence has an impact, not just romantically, but emotionally, psychologically. Because here's the truth. Male and female energy were designed to interact, not clash. And sometimes, just being in the presence of raw, grounded masculine energy helps a woman feel more secure, less emotionally chaotic. But dating? That's where things start to get messy. Here's something most guys don't realize. Men overestimate how interested a woman is in them. We think she's into us when she's just being polite. And women, they underestimate how much a guy is into them. You're being consistent, respectful, even helpful, and she still doesn't register that you're interested. That gap in perception? That's why we end up chasing women who were never chasing us back, and why women sometimes miss the guy who was actually showing up for her, but not in the flashy, dramatic way she expected. It's a broken dance. Miscommunication wrapped in hormones, expectations, and modern confusion. But if you step back, if you observe instead of react, you'll start to see the patterns. That's where Stoicism hits different. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe always that everything is the result of change. Women change, feelings change, attraction changes. Your job isn't to control that. Your job is to stay grounded while it shifts around you." See, the Stoics weren't emotionless robots. They felt deeply, but they didn't act impulsively. They trained themselves to respond with clarity instead of chaos. And in a world where most men are either simping or exploding, that's rare power. Anyway, back to some raw facts. Smell. Yeah, your nose can amplify pleasure. Pheromones, natural scent, sweat. It all hits the brain on a primal level. You ever been close to a woman and her scent hits you like a drug? That's not just lust. That's biology doing its job. Some studies even suggest certain smells can increase sexual intensity. Not perfumes, but the real, raw, natural scent of someone your body connects with. It's wild how something so subtle can take things to a whole new level. Now here's a fact you probably never heard. Men's hearts, physically bigger than women's. A woman's heart is about 2/3 the size of a man's, and it has to beat faster to keep up. Think about that metaphor for a second. We carry the bulk, the structure, the pressure. They move faster, more rhythm, more emotion. It's not just biology, it's a reflection of how we operate. Men hold the line, women move with the waves. And if you don't learn to stand solid while the storm moves around you, you'll drown in it. That's not some poetic advice. That's real. In a world that tries to soften you, turn you into a people pleaser, make you apologize for being a man, you need something deeper than motivation. You need philosophy. You need self-command. You need the ability to face uncomfortable truths about yourself, about women, about the game you're playing, and not flinch. That's what separates the man who reacts from the man who rules himself. And trust me, women feel that difference, even if they can't explain it. Let's not sugarcoat it. A lot of men have had sex they later regretted. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was the loneliness. Maybe it was just boredom. Whatever the reason it happened. And you can sit there beating yourself up, replaying it in your head like some kind of punishment loop. Or you can do what a grounded man does, extract the lesson and move the hell on. That's Stoicism in action, by the way. You don't cry over the past, you mine it for wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So yeah, maybe that night wasn't your proudest moment, but it's part of your path now. Own it. Don't let shame eat you alive. Now here's something weird but true. Scientists ran this experiment where two strangers stared into each other's eyes for 4 straight minutes. No words, just pure eye contact. And guess what? Many of them reported feeling something real. Some even fell in love. That's how wired we are for connection. It's not about what you say, it's about what you radiate. Your presence speaks before your mouth ever opens. And speaking of presence, most women don't even realize that a man's nipples can be just as sensitive as theirs. Yeah, I know. Nobody talks about this stuff. It's taboo or too soft to bring up. But ignoring it? That's like skipping a bonus level in a game. Pleasure isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and even primal. Now let's go deeper. Have you ever heard of philophobia? It's the fear of falling in love. And no, it's not some rare condition you see in movies. A lot of men live with this fear daily. The idea of truly opening up, becoming emotionally naked, Letting someone into the chaos of your inner world, it terrifies them. Not because they don't want love, but because they've been burned, used, mocked, abandoned. So they armor up. Stoicism teaches you to protect your peace, but it also warns against becoming emotionally numb. Guard your heart, don't bury it alive. Some guys even flinch at a simple kiss. Not because they don't want it, but because that moment might pull them into something deeper, something vulnerable and real. But here's the harsh truth. You can't play the game of intimacy if you're afraid to bleed. The battlefield of love, sex, and connection isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for men who know who they are, what they're worth, and what they're willing to risk. So next time you find yourself hesitating, emotionally, physically, whatever, ask yourself, is this hesitation coming from wisdom or fear? One is strength, the other is a cage. Now let's shift the lens a bit, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just some random trivia, it's a wake-up call. Men and women literally see the world through different eyes, and no, that's not a metaphor, it's neurological. Studies show men are more prone to color blindness, but are better at detecting movement, a survival trait from our hunter past. While women with their heightened sensitivity to color variations are biologically tuned to detect subtle shifts, like a baby's skin tone changing from illness, or emotional nuances during conversations. And that right there is where the disconnect starts. We're wired for different missions. You're out here scanning for threats, opportunities, or competition, while she's picking up on things you don't even register. The micro-expressions, the tone behind your words, the energy you give off when you walk in a room. So when you're sitting across from her at dinner wondering why she seems distant, she already felt your insecurity before you opened your mouth. And here's where it gets even deeper, especially when it comes to intimacy. A man can perform under pressure. We're designed for that. But for most women, stress is the biggest arousal killer there is. If her mind is spinning, if she doesn't feel safe, seen, or relaxed, then it doesn't matter how good your game is. Her body won't respond. Why? Because nature wired her that way for survival. She's not supposed to open up when the environment feels unsafe, emotionally or physically. And man, this is where most guys screw up. They think attraction is all about looks or money, but you could look like a Greek god and still fail if your presence is chaotic, insecure, or desperate. Now let me hit you with something that might sound wild. A study published in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found that the darker the pigmentation of a woman's intimate area, the more alluring it's perceived, not because of some porn fantasy, but because it signals fertility, vitality, and raw, unfiltered nature. It's primal, it's biological. You don't have to like it, but if you're a man who values truth, you'd be smart to understand it. And speaking of truth, let's talk love. Yeah, I know. Love sounds like the softest word in a red pill world, but listen closely. According to the Journal of Cross-Cultural Psychology, the experience of love is universal. Doesn't matter if you're in New York or a tribe in the Amazon, people fall in love. It's coded into our biology. We need it. But here's the brutal twist. Most men fall in love with potential. Most women fall in love with status. That's why you see guys chasing women who don't respect them, and women leaving men who haven't leveled up. And now, here's the Stoic angle. The Stoics taught that nature doesn't care about your feelings. Epictetus said, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about them. So what are you doing when you get ghosted by a woman? Are you crying over someone who doesn't even think about you twice? Or are you sharpening your discipline, getting stronger, mastering your emotions like a true Stoic warrior? Because here's the raw truth. You can't control who loves you. You can't control if she texts back, but you can control how you respond. And that's where your power lies. Every rejection, every confusing signal, every awkward silence is your training ground. Not just to become more attractive, but to become unbreakable. Now ask yourself, are you going to keep whining about what women do? Or are you going to start understanding how the game actually works and play it like a fucking man? Because life doesn't hand you what you deserve. It hands you what you command. And here's the thing, body language doesn't lie. You see a woman subtly lick her lips while looking at you? That's not random. That's primal, instinctual. Her body is reacting before her mind even catches up. And most men? Completely blind to it. They're too distracted or too insecure to pick up on those little cues. But a man who's grounded, who's present, sees it for what it is. A sign, a signal, and he knows how to respond, or when to hold his ground. Now here's a raw truth a lot of people won't say out loud. After sex, yeah, there might be that lingering scent, a mix of sweat, skin, and yes, even semen on her breath. That's biology. That's what happens when two bodies collide in intimacy. It's not gross. It's real. It's the afterglow of a connection. Some men get weird about it. Others, they see it as proof they left a mark, literally and metaphorically. Let's talk about the clitoris for a second. No, seriously. Most guys think they know what it is, but most of them are only scratching the surface, literally. What you see is just the tip. The real structure extends deep under the surface like a hidden labyrinth of nerve endings and potential. If you don't understand it, you're missing out on half the map. And guess what? Pleasure is power. Understanding how to truly please a woman isn't about performance. It's about presence, about giving a damn. And that is rare. But here's something even rarer. A man who communicates through action. The kind who doesn't talk about love 24/7 but makes plans, takes the lead, shows up. That's masculine energy at work. It's not poetic. It's solid, reliable. Women crave that more than flowers or sweet texts. They crave the man who decides and acts. The one who says let's go and actually goes. From a Stoic perspective, all of this matters because it's about mastering yourself first. Marcus Aurelius wasn't talking about bedroom dynamics, but he was talking about clarity, about showing up in life with virtue, discipline, and intention. When you control your desires, instead of letting them control you, you move differently. You speak with conviction. You're not needy, you're anchored. And that alone makes you 10 times more attractive in a world full of boys chasing validation. Men who live stoically don't chase love, they invite it by the way they live. Through self-respect, through calm dominance, through choosing their responses instead of reacting emotionally. That's what makes them magnetic. That's what makes them unforgettable. So yeah, you want better intimacy, want women to respect you, desire you, stay obsessed with you. Start by understanding yourself. Master your mind, your body, your energy. The rest will follow. Because real masculinity isn't about pretending to be alpha. It's about being undeniable. Here's something most guys don't realize. When it comes to fertility, nature plays favorites, but not how you think. A woman's egg lives about 12 to 24 hours after release. That's it. One day, a tight window. But sperm? They're built for the long game. They can survive inside a woman's body for up to 5 days, quietly waiting, holding the line like disciplined warriors. It's one of nature's most strategic designs, and it says a lot about how masculinity is wired for endurance, for patience, for purpose. And yeah, we can't ignore this one. Studies show nearly 70% of men watch porn regularly. That's not a mistake, that's a signal, a reflection of unmet needs. It's not just about pleasure, it's often about escapism, a synthetic version of intimacy, a shortcut your brain gets addicted to. But here's the brutal truth, and most men won't want to hear this. Excessive porn use kills your edge. It rewires your dopamine response, shrinks your ambition, and numbs your ability to bond with a real woman. It's not harmless, it's spiritual fentanyl. If you're serious about becoming the kind of man women truly crave, centered, magnetic, in control, cut that habit down, or kill it completely. Now let's switch gears for a second. Have you ever hugged someone for more than 20 seconds? Not a bro pat, not a quick squeeze. I'm talking about a real extended hug, long enough to feel someone's breath slow down against yours. That kind of hug, it changes chemistry. Literally. When you hold someone that long, your body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It triggers trust, safety, emotional connection. That's why deep intimacy isn't just built in bed, it's built in silence, in stillness, in presence. Something every Stoic understood. See, the Stoics taught us that real strength is in how you show up, not in what you say. You want to be unforgettable to a woman? Be the calm in her chaos, the structure in her storm. Don't get pulled into her moods. Don't argue like a child or chase like a beggar. Stand still like a mountain, unshaken, and she'll feel something she hasn't felt in a long time: safety. That's what today's men have forgotten. They confuse softness with sensitivity, or dominance with shouting. No, brother. Real masculine power is silent, grounded. You don't need to announce it. It's felt, not heard. And let's be brutally honest again. Most guys out there are starving for attention, validation. They don't hug to connect. They do it to get something back. Approval, affection, sex. But when you become a man who hugs with presence, not neediness, who touches with intention, not desperation, women notice. They may not know why they're drawn to you, but trust me, they will be. So as you keep watching, keep this in mind. The body and mind aren't separate. They're partners. And understanding a woman's biology, her emotional cycles, her silent signals, gives you power. Not to manipulate, but to move with awareness. To lead. That's what Stoic masculinity is about. Awareness over reaction, composure over chaos, and truth over comfort, because comfort is killing most men right now, but truth is what sets you apart. Alright, real talk. If you've ever freaked out about tampons or anything else getting lost inside a woman, chill. The vagina isn't some bottomless pit or mystery cave. Its shape and muscles are designed to keep everything exactly where it's supposed to be. Nature didn't mess this up. So relax, it's not going anywhere you don't want it to. Now here's something you might not have heard. There's this hormone called vasopressin. Sounds fancy, but it's basically the chemical that locks in emotional bonding after sex. That's why sometimes, after a good night, you don't just feel satisfied, you feel connected. It's biology helping you create attachment, trust, and intimacy. Whether you like it or not, your body's playing the game of connection at a deeper level. And listen up, here's a little gift from science. Having sex about 3 times a week could actually make you look younger. No joke. Researchers think it's because regular sex balances your hormones and crushes stress. Your body starts glowing from the inside out. That's why some guys seem to age backwards. Not just from creams or gym routines, but from real, raw connection. Here's where the Stoic angle quietly kicks in. The Stoics taught us that everything natural has its purpose. That includes your body's reactions, your emotions, your urges. Trying to fight against that is like swimming upstream against a raging river. Instead, mastery comes from understanding these forces and working with them, not suppressing them or being controlled by them. Sex, connection, bonding, it's all part of your nature. And the more you align with that truth, the stronger you become. Not weak, not dependent, but powerful in your clarity. So stop overthinking the what-ifs about your body or hers. Stop stressing about things out of your hands. Own what's real, what's raw. Because the guys who win, they're the ones who don't panic over little details. They keep their eyes on the bigger game. The game of connection, of attraction, of respect. And that, brother, is something no one can take from you. All right, brother. Now that you've got a few psychological truths about women under your belt, truths that 97% of men don't even know, don't stop here. Right now you'll see a video popping up on the screen called 15 Female Psychology Facts Every Stoic Man Must Know. Trust me, if you want to go deeper, understand women even better, and sharpen your mindset, you need to check it out. Click that video next. Don't miss out. And hey, if you found value in this one, hit that like button, drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the kind of real, unfiltered knowledge that'll actually change the game for you. I'll see you in the next video. Stay sharp, stay grounded,